there's this feeling we often come across when we start something. In the beginning, we are often excited and we tell ourselves, this is it, I'm doing it. And this is how you start working on your goals. And now you have already walked a long path, you are in the middle, and suddenly everything feels quiet. You feel like there's no movement, there's no progress. And this is when your own dream starts to scare you. And suddenly things get intimidating. But intimidation is a sign that you are growing in the place that matters. If it didn't matter, it wouldn't feel heavy. And what makes it worse is when you look around and you feel like everyone else is already ahead. They have the numbers, they have the proof, they have customers for their small business, they look confident, and somehow they look established. And here you feel like you are just a beginner. And that's right when the comparison hits. And comparison is extremely unfair. You are comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. So, of course, you will feel small. You will feel like you don't belong. But you do belong there. What it actually means, it's just that you are earlier in the process. In this moment, only you could see the movie in your head, while everyone else could only see the trailer. And I've said this many times in my videos that growth is rarely loud. Most of the growth feels invisible. A seed underground feels like nothing is happening, but the roots are spreading like crazy. But the thing is, if you dig it up every day to check, you will kill it. The phase you are in right now, 20 views, very few customers, no appreciation from people, small attempts, learning what works, trying different ideas, all this is a root building stage. Right now, you're not growing fast, you are becoming stable, and stability is what makes growth possible later. Because think practically, if suddenly tomorrow you hit higher numbers, if you get a huge number of customers tomorrow, or you are suddenly pushed into the spotlight, would you know how to handle it? How to hold that attention? How to structure work? How to handle criticism? Or how to stay consistent? Probably not yet, right? So this slow phase is not a punishment, it's a training phase. So this middle phase is like fire. It builds thick skin, systems, discipline, and the character. So if you jump to the top right now, you wouldn't have the strength to stay there. But if for you the hardest part is the quiet phase, where the adrenaline of the starting is gone and the reward of finishing is nowhere in the sight, this is where the most of the dreams die, because we get tired, bored, and drained. And then you start overthinking. It feels productive, but it's just a shadow work. The drained feeling is usually the decision fatigue. In the beginning, everything feels exciting, but in the middle, everything becomes a question. The constant internal debate is more exhausting than the actual work. So instead of asking every day, should I continue? Is this for me? Make continuing automatic. Go on autopilot mode, just like brushing your teeth. Save your energy for the craft and not for the argument in your head. Stop looking for the horizon every day. When the goal is 1,000 miles away, burnout is guaranteed. Lower your gaze. Look at the last month. Are you even 1% better? And if yes, that's already enough. Give yourself 3 small tasks every day. Micro victories give momentum, while big dreams makes us feel anxious. And these small consistent movement builds strength. Comparison also creates false floors. You feel like you have to reach at a certain level just to be considered as legit or successful. But that's a lie. You belong to the room the moment you decide to do the work. Success is just repeated boring actions done with intention. But if you fear, what if I never become that version, that polished, fearless, and confident version? But the truth is that version doesn't exist. Nobody arrives, they just acclimatize. The spotlight never stops being scary. You just get better at showing up while being scared. If you ever get 10k views or new customers, or you are pushed into the limelight, you don't need to be someone new. The spotlight doesn't demand the new version of you. It simply amplifies the current one. And the people who pushed you into the spotlight, they did because they like the version you already are. So you don't need to transform. You just need to continue. And if you're worrying about if the quiet phase is a dead end, what if I never pass it? The freeing truth is, the quiet phase becomes the dead end when you stop walking. Growth isn't a straight line, it's a staircase. You stand on a flat landing for a long time, then suddenly a step appears. Even if there's no big breakout like you imagined, the skills you build here, discipline, resilience, your craft, is what makes you powerful in your life, and that matters more. There's a difference between quitting and resting. If you feel like giving up sometimes, it's exhaustion. You can take a strategic pause for maybe hours, days, and that's totally fine. Stop building, stop crafting something, just be there. Rest is productive. Running a marathon at a sprint speed will make anyone collapse. This phase isn't something you escape. The seeds grow underground in the silence, in the darkness, before anyone could see the fruit. Don't let the silence convince you that nothing is happening. You are already ahead of the most people who quit. So now coming to the end, maybe nothing is wrong with you. You are not behind, you are not incapable, you are just early. Early in the process and early in becoming something who you want to become. And early often feels invisible and quiet. So don't let this quiet convince you to quit. Let it build you, because if you quit now, you will never know if whether you could have done it, whether it would have worked, whether you were actually closer than you thought. The people you admire, they went through this exact phase. They stood in the silence and they chose not to walk away. And so can you. If you can make peace with the work when no one is watching, if you keep showing up when nothing feels impressive, you have already won. Everything else, the numbers, the recognition, the success, the spotlight, that's just a bonus.